That's going to drive me crazy. Can we turn that off? Great. All right, all right. Level check. I'm going to have the mic on. That's barely anything. Huh. Okay. Phone call coming. Is this Sam? Yeah, I'm going to need speaker. Okay. Okay. Well, here's the thing with YouTube. There's about a 30-second delay depending on internet speed. So, yeah. Well, it is. I've got the screen going right now. Yeah. Yeah, that's the picture I'm sending. My system doesn't work without a picture. This is the system. I don't know how you want to stay on the phone, but it's hard. What I can do is I'll have a timer on and I can keep it uniform. And I can tell you what I'm going to do. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, you're going to get 30-second breaks. Yeah, damage score. Okay. I've tried to do Skype, but Mac doesn't want to talk with my capture card. I can't get any audio to it. So that's why we're doing it this way. Well, we've done it before. It's been a while. Yeah, I can keep a timer going here, and I'll give like 33, 35 seconds, something like that, as a buffer. I have a list of sponsors somewhere in my paperwork. Yeah. Okay. No problem. Okay, no problem. coming through the YouTube? Right there? That losing? Right there? Do you have audio coming through the YouTube? All it is a band on the crowd mic. You have no audio coming through YouTube. Say it again.
What?
Say that again.
You are very quiet.
Well, I haven't. give it a few seconds. It should come through with me, my voice. I don't think I need a crowd mic at all. All right. Something wrong with that microphone, I think. You got me loud and clear? Okay. So that'll be fun. Wow. Oh.
Yep, you are perfectly fine now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take off the headset. I was powered my other phone to the hotspot. So you want to start at 6:45?
We can start whenever you want to go.
Okay. Now let me finish my setup and I will let you know.
Alright, I'm turning on Adobe Audition so I can record it.
Okay.
This is not wanting to load apparently.
I know that.
Computers are older than me, I swear.
Alright. How old are you? You're what?
We're all good now.
Okay.
Alright, so we're doing a 2-minute pre-game break.
Yes.
Alright. Alright, yeah, I'm ready to go whenever you are.
Okay, I'll let you go and I'll give you a countdown on the stream before I go.
Alright, yeah, that works completely fine.
Okay.
Alright, thank you.
Do you have my number in case we lose something?
No, I did not. I'm not trying the smart radio.
Tell me when you're ready.
Yeah, ready.
360
360
229
229
2234.
2234. Alright.
Correct. That gets me the phone that we're talking on.
Alright. Wait, so 6:45 is gonna be our start time?
Right now, yes.
Alright, sweet. Okay, so everything is good to go then. I will see you on the other side.
Okay.
Alright, sweet, thank you.
All right. Bye. This is gonna be fun, Jerry.
Notice I'm not trying to bother you.
Thanks, Jerry.
I'm letting you.
Grab your headset. Let's see what we got here. See how Jerry sounds.
All right. Let's see how you say.
My goodness, what kind? Hold on, we're gonna lose audio for a second. Should be back.
I hear you fine,
Good deal.
and you hear me well.
A-okay. We're
Thank
good
you.
to go.
Good.
Wish I could. I wonder if there's a way to get a clock on here. This ought to be interesting. Okay, what is this? That's preview. Left my glasses in the car, Jerry. I brought them with me for once, and I left them in the car. At least we have a nice light in here, so. Open time preference. Huh, there's a clock. Make that bigger. I don't know. All right, well, we'll go with it. Got a clock on here. Can you you see okay, Jerry?
I do. I see real well.
Even with the nice obstructions.
Reminds me of Fenway Park with
Fenway
all
Park
the
with
old poles.
Oh, okay, never been there. Wouldn't know. I'm glad we just don't have to do a camera tonight. I just have to worry about what's on the field. Okay, so I'm going to give you a 1 minute to start mark because I've got a clock on my screen. Whoa, interesting. Okay, so we're going to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. 1 minute till we start pregame. 1 minute till we start pregame. The what?
A backpack.
He put everything that was in here in that room.
I don't see it here.
Okay. 30 seconds to start. Let me get my clock up here. And let's see. Mark, 30 seconds, mark. Oh, you know what I need? I need this. Yeah, 15 seconds, mark. There's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good evening and welcome to Art Craft Field on the campus of Bethel High School in Spanaway, Washington. Tonight, it's Class 4A playoffs featuring the Mount Vernon Bulldogs and the Graham-Kapowsin Eagles. My name is Diedrich Allen. Joining me for this broadcast is Jerry Apple. Jerry, say hello to everyone.
Hello, everybody. It's an honor to be able to announce this game for you.
Jerry will be keeping stats and bringing us some color commentating. And I just lost my picture for some reason. Okay. Mount Vernon comes into this game with a 5-4 overall record. The Bulldogs finished 4th in the Wesco 4A. In the Open this season, beating my alma mater, Burlington Edison, 19-14. Lost to Cedar Woolley, 34-27. Slipped by Cascade, 48-47. Was crushed by Lake Stevens, 77-0. Lost to Monroe, 55-14. Got back on the winning track by beating Mariner 33-7, then Jackson 56-9, and Kamiak 54-30, but lost last week to Glacier Peak 17-14. Now Graham-Kapowsin is 9-0, the top team out of the 4A South Puget Sound League. Eagles have been ranked as high as number 4 in the Associated Press poll this season. Currently, Max Preps has GK ranked 6th in the state. Here is Graham-Kapowsin's road to the playoffs. They opened the season with a 21-14 win over Sheldon, Oregon. Knocked off Bellarmine 21-10. Took out Emerald Ridge 49-7. Beat Puyallup 27-13. Took care of Olympia 40-7. Shut out South Kitsap 41-0. Crushed Curtis 62-0 and had little trouble with Rogers 40-0, but doubled up Sumner 28-14 last week. However, this is the playoffs, and it's now a new season. We put aside records, past scores, and rankings. Now it's about winning. Kickoff is coming up. Mount Vernon and Graham-Kapowsin here on KBRC. Take a timeout. We'll be back in 2 minutes on KBRC. So that's 2 minutes. I'm going to figure out what happened here. Freaking me out. Why did it go away? Huh. That's weird. There it is. I'm out of breath, Jerry.
You know, you've been You've been working.
I usually record my opens and don't do them live. All right. How much time do we have till game? I can't see the clock.
We have 12 minutes.
12 minutes. Boy. Okay, coming up on 45 seconds into the break. Hopefully everything's going well. You can also text that number if there's issues. Yep. Oh, and we're back here at Art Craft Field in Spanaway. Just trying to get the starting lineups down here, Jerry, and we'll get to that in a minute. Let's see here. Too many buttons to push here. So let's run down what we do know for Mount Vernon. Carlos Garcia. Skylar Jensen will be starting at QB for Mount Vernon. Here, Miguel Castro, Cards Pineda, Victor Martinez, Dylan Carter. Let's see here, I got Ian Greer, Ignan Willis, Jacob Calvert, Arik Bibiana, and Trevor Johnson. I know I'm missing somebody there, aren't I, Jerry?
I think you just mentioned 10 names.
Did I? I'm missing one. It's kind of hard when you're trying to do about a million things at once. Anyways, ready for some playoff football. We're 9 minutes away from kickoff. So we'll have another opportunity to thank our sponsors. We will also be picking a player of the game, sponsored by Banner Bank. And we'll have the Pacific Power Batteries Power Play of the game coming up as well. Let's see here. Mount Vernon's coming out of the locker room now. Kind of slowly over there to our left. Some of our sponsors tonight, Burlington Automotive, Burlington King in Mount Vernon, and Cedar Woolley. Skagit Farmer Supply Country Stores, Firehouse Subs, Banner Bank, Northwest Clean Air Agency, Hagen Northwest Fresh, Skagit Ready Mix, Burgermaster, CPI Plumbing and Heating, Pacific Power and Batteries, and WescoAthletics.com. Those are just some of the sponsors bringing you this game here from Spanaway, Washington. Tonight, playoff action between Graham-Kapowsin and Mount Vernon. We will take another 2-minute timeout. We will be right back here on KBRC. Maybe I should have started now. Oh well. We'll get a lot of breaks. You didn't get Graham-Kapowsin's starters, did you?
I did not.
Okay. What was that?
I do believe that Lake Stevens might be the #1 team in the state. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay. About 45 seconds into the break. I hope this phone will stay powered throughout the night. 1 minute now into the break. 1 minute. I'm not hearing. I need to replace that microphone too. Okay, I got a minute and a half into the break, so 30 seconds. Last counting. So I'm going to give you a countdown to 2 minutes, then pause for 5 seconds, and then go. If that works for you. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And welcome back to Cart Field in Spanaway, Washington. A little bit of silence on the field at the moment as we're waiting for Graham-Kapowsin to come out. Just wanted to set the scene. If you've ever seen these blow-up things, these balloon large things like you have in like the Macy Days Parade in New York City, well, they have one that the team's going to run through. It's a little tunnel, a little tent with an eagle with 2 fists out and holding their, doing the strong pose, and that's on at the end zone to our left, and that's the way they come out. And they usually have some smoke, if I remember right. I think I watched some of their game last Thursday against Sumner, and I think that there was a lot of smoke that came flying out of that, and it kind of hung around because it was kind of like tonight in a little stagnant air. But we are in excellent weather tonight.
Beautiful night.
Should not be, well, rain not in the forecast whatsoever. And not too cold. I didn't check the gauge on my car when I came in, but I'm thinking it's maybe about 45.
We're gonna find
I don't even think it is that cold.
44 degrees.
44, really? Okay. So we're still waiting for Graham-Kapowsin to come out of the locker room. They're starting to filter out right now. I think they're coming out for the coin toss. So we will try to bring that to you here.
Now, I assume there's about 2 or 3 teams or schools that share this field?
I'm assuming so. I'm not really sure which ones those are. Obviously, Graham-Kapowsin is one. Bethel is another one because that's just down the
And I think Spanaway Lake.
And Spanaway Lake, which would make sense. So, yeah, we'll... Okay, so... we can get the coin toss. Well, we'll give you the results of that coin toss when we come back. And just 2 minutes here on KBRC.
Yeah, it looks like the captains are walking out to
We're in
the
break,
field.
Jerry. We're in break. Don't worry about it.
Oh, well. Yeah, sometimes I don't know.
Well, when I say KBRC, then we're going into break. This is a 2-minute break if you didn't get that. And for the other person who's watching this stream, my wife, this is an audio feed. So there were no commercials. They originated back at the station in Mount Vernon. Just to let you know. 30 seconds in. I don't feel ready for this game, Jerry.
Well,
I don't know why.
it's tough when you come into a stadium and you don't know the players.
Yeah, we won't say that on the air.
We're not on the air, though, right?
No, we're not. We're not supposed to be on the air. I hope not. We're 1 minute into this, almost 1 minute into the break. Probably going to open this window, though. Minute 10 into the break. Yeah, see, there's the smoke. It's the coin toss. Okay, coming up on 30 seconds. this. I think Graham-Kapowsin won the toss. And deferred. Okay. Coming back for 15. 10.
Yep, Mount Vernon's receiving.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Graham-Kapowsin won the toss and elected to defer, so Mount Vernon will be receiving the opening kickoff here. And we'll get this underway shortly. And you should see the smoke out here, folks. It's Graham-Kapowsin colored, blue and red. And the flags for the Eagles. This is a different setup than I'm used to, and things are just not where I like them to be. So, Jerry, I didn't give you the stats that I pulled up on both these teams. Yeah.
Well, I've had a chance to do some research on both teams.
Okay.
So.
Get this back up and running. So we're waiting for the teams to take the field. Actually, we're going to have the national anthem coming up here shortly, as the colors will actually come from in front of us. We are on the visitors' side, so we're looking at the home stand. So that'll give you kind of a indication of where we are. We're going to take another break as they do the national anthem. We will be out. We'll be back here on KBRC. This is not working. Getting texts from everybody. What's going on? Voices are cutting out. I don't know what that means because it seems to be fine to me. That's cutting out, and I don't know why that is. Maybe that's the issue. All right. We'll go a different route. Maybe. Oh, stop it. Okay. Great. That's under there. Could you grab it, Jerry?
Yes.
Okay, I get it. 15 seconds. Maybe. I'm sorry, we are back here at Artcraft Field. All right. Waiting for the colors to exit the field. And we'll get this playoff game underway shortly. Apologize for the audio issues, folks. We're still working things out. flags have left the field. So Graham-Kapowsin is fired up for this game, Jerry. A little more than Mount Vernon. They seem a little bit subdued. Now, I don't know if that works in their favor or not.
No, I think when you're ready to play and you're fired up, you definitely have an advantage. And,
well, it might be that bus ride from Mount Vernon down here. It could have been quite a long one.
It is a long one. It's probably about a 2.5 hour bus ride.
Depending on traffic. Now, I've done that because I have relatives
Yeah,
in the Skagit Valley.
It could definitely be a lot longer.
It can be a lot longer. And, yeah, it's especially with the traffic and just coming here from where we are.
Yeah.
I ran into traffic, got turned around, and, oh, boy, it was not fun trying to get ready for this kickoff.
I wasn't too far away. I was in Lakewood, so.
Well, that's always a good thing. So going back deep to receive the kickoff for the Bulldogs, you've got Franklin Grillon on the far side from us, and I believe Cads Pineda on the near side. I think it's 28. Ball's teed up by Graham-Kapowsin. They will be kicking from our left to right on the radio dial. And doing the kicking is Jesus Delgado, and he'll kick it high and short, actually to the 25. Picked up to the 20. Still trying to find some room, and he's just smothered in after maybe a couple of yards, but dropped at the 23.
40-yard kickoff for Graham-Kapowsin.
That's Rulon with the return. And here come the Mount Vernon offense. Led by Skylar Jensen, QB. He's got 14 touchdowns on the year. For the Bulldogs out of the gun, he'll work. Victor Martinez beside him and a step behind. Man in motion, and that's Pineda. Handoff to Martinez, trying to find some running room straight up the middle with the power run. Managed to squeak out a couple of yards, cross the 25 to the 26, maybe the 27, depending on the spot. So we have second down, and it looks like it's going to be 7. Out of the gun again. Pineda again in motion, fakes the handoff to him, but hands it off to Martinez. He'll bust it up just to the right of his center. Got up to the 30, still a little short of the first down.
Gain of about 3 on the play.
It'll be 3rd and 4 from the 30-yard line. Carlos Garcia is the wideout on the near side, which would be to the left. And they'll split 2 wide to the far side. Out of the gun goes Jensen. He's going to roll out to the left, set his feet, and he's going to go down. Kind of a 2-man sack there, number 50 and number 23. That would be Curtis Hill, number 50, and 23 is Nazir Ford for the sack and a loss.
Loss of 10 on the play.
Yeah, back to the 20, 21 we'll call it. 4th down and a punting situation for the Bulldogs. And we're still waiting for the snap here on this 4th down play. There's the snap kick. It's a spiraling kick that will hit at the 45, take a Bulldog bounce, but picking it up on the run for Graham-Kapowsin is Malik Robertson. Caught immediately.
40-yard punt.
Dropped at the 40. 1st and 10 for Graham-Kapowsin. Okay, Graham-Kapowsin led by number 3, Nate Thomas. He's a pretty good quarterback rating by Max Preps at 127, Jerry.
Well, that's very good.
It's extremely good.
Very good. Yes.
And he'll go empty backfield, and they'll go 5 wide, 3 to his left and 2 to his right. Bulldogs coming all out blitz. Throw down deep. Got a guy there. It's caught at the 30, to the 20, to the 10. 5 touchdown. Graham-Kapowsin. It's Malachi Robinson with the TD. One play, boom, that's 6 points.
Yeah, 60-yard pass play.
$9:35 to go first quarter. Graham-Kapowsin strikes. Or was it just a few seconds?
Probably about 10 seconds.
I didn't see. I didn't spot the clock.
Yeah.
Point after coming. Joshua Wood going to kick the point after. Spot. Kick. It is good. So 7-0. Graham-Kapowsin is up. 9:35 to go first quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds on KBRC. All right, this is driving me nuts. I didn't get my clock keeps going funky on me.
Yeah, that's quite a quarterback rating. 127 is outstanding.
All right. I don't know where we are. I think we're pretty close.
Yeah, there's one quarterback in the pros that has that rating.
And we're back, 9:35, first quarter, 7-0. Graham-Kapowsin strikes first with the kickoff. They'll kick it high and again picked up at the 15 to the 25 on the return, trying to find some running room or up the right side.
40-yard kickoff.
And that was Grulon again on the return.
Picked up about 4 or 5 yards on the return, looked like.
So the Bulldogs will start out on their 26, 1st and 10. And the Bulldogs, again, they don't have a lot of urgency in this game. They're taking their time. Out of the gun will go Jensen, and trying to crisscross misdirection in the handoff to Martinez, nothing. Well, actually, he lost a couple of yards on the play. Back to the 20, looks like the 23.
A loss of 1 on the play.
So 2nd and 11. Again, out of the gun goes Jensen. Got receivers on each side, a wing step back on the near side. And back to pass he goes, throws, and sliding and catching it at the 30 is Carlos Garcia. Pickup of 7. And it's 3rd down and about 5. In the ball game right now is Van Struisma. He will go wide to the far side with Pineda and Garcia. And, oh, boy, hard count there. Drew the Eagles off sides. They were coming with the blitz, and 2 guys came in before the snap. The ball never even was snapped. And that's a quick 5 yards, and that should give Mount Vernon a first down.
Yeah, it's the first penalty of the game.
Well, it's going to be short, actually, by about a yard. Move the ball up across the 35. And they're going to call it 3rd and 1 now. So not quite the first down. Same formation as last time. Hand it off. Here's Martinez. Gets the first down. Little stutter step. Powers in the middle of the field across the 40. Hit a little stutter step at the line of scrimmage, and that was enough to freeze the defense, and he managed to get the first down and a little bit more.
Gain of 6 on the play. Good for a first down. Gain of 6.
Ball at the 41, 1st and 10 for Mount Vernon. Looking back at the sidelines for the play. 7:40 to go here, first quarter, 7-0. Graham-Kapowsin with the lead. Mount Vernon with the ball. Jensen out of the gun. 3 receivers to the far side. That's to his right. He's going to pull it down and run on the option. Ball's free, and diving on it is Martinez. Save that loose ball. Ill-advised pitch. Didn't really have his feet set to pitch it, and it kind of popped through. But luckily, it rolled to Martinez, and he was able to fall on it.
No gain on the play.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 from just across the 40. They're actually calling it the 41 to get to the 49 of Graham-Kapowsin for the first down. Jensen goes out of the gun. Same formation with 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Martinez in the backfield with him. He's going to see the pocket just collapse, and he'll have no choice but try to run forward. He's going to lose a yard, and it's 3rd and 11 at the 40. Approaching 7:05 to go here in the first quarter. Second possession for Mount Vernon. They do have a play clock here, which is kind of nice. Not a lot of stadiums have the play clock. And it's at both ends of the field. Sometimes it's just at one end of the field. I know that they used to have one in Roy Anderson Field in Purdy. Back to pass goes Jensen. Long pass down the field. Diving catch again. That's Garcia across the 25. Well, he just comes up short of the 25 on a sliding catch. That was right there.
35-yard pass play.
We talked about Graham-Kapowsin's quarterback, his rating. Jensen has a rating of 108.7. That's not too shabby either.
No.
But a big pickup, and the Bulldogs are in to Graham-Kapowsin territory at their 26. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, handoff to Martinez. Trying to find some room up the middle. Dives ahead for a couple of yards, but they're going to say he's down just across the 25. Give him a yard, maybe 2. Oh, they're going to give him 2, Jerry. Put it at the 24. Play clock, well, going down to 20. Game clock, 6 minutes. 7-0. Graham-Kapowsin, Mount Vernon trying to even things up. 2nd and 8 from the 24 of the Eagles. Handoff to Martinez. Spinning at the line of scrimmage to the left. Got a couple more yards to the 21. Be 3rd down and 6 coming. For Mount Vernon, trying to get some points this time. The first possession didn't go anywhere. This possession has amounted to some yards. Got 2 receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Out of the gun goes Jensen with Martinez to his right. Long count. Back to pass he goes. Takes a 2-step drop. Going to lob it to Garcia. Pushing and shoving, and he caught it in the end zone. That's a touchdown. What a catch. Very impressed with Carlos Garcia so far tonight. Coverage was there, Jerry. He was all over him defending. And the defender, I believe, was Malachi Madison for Graham-Kapowsin. And it's a 1-point lead for the Eagles. The Bulldogs trying to tie it up.
On that drive, the quarterback for Mount Vernon completed 3 passes, 1 for 7, 1 for 35, and 1 for 22.
No, nothing more bigger than that last touchdown, that last pass. Looks like they're going to go for 2 here, or are they going to kick it? Looks like they're going to kick the point to tie the ball game. Stephen White on to, no, that's not White. That's Carlos Garcia to kick the point after. Thought it was a 7, it's a 3. The spot is down, the ball is blocked. So it's a 1-point lead for Graham-Kapowsin, but Mount Vernon gets it in the end zone. 5:01 to go. First quarter, 7 for Graham-Kapowsin, 6 for Mount Vernon. This is KBRC. This is a 30-second break again. Try not to drop my phone. It's a little disconcerting for me because I'm usually moving cameras. And anyways, 10 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1 point ball game here at Art Cart Field. 7 for Graham-Kapowsin, 6 for Mount Vernon. Kickoff coming back to the Eagles of Graham-Kapowsin. Israel Reyna will do the kicking for the kickoff. Can't quite see who's back deep for Graham-Kapowsin. Waiting for the run up. Here it is. And the kick. A little short. Picked up by one of the up men. He dropped it. Ball's free. And Graham-Kapowsin falls on it back at the 27. That was a break for the Eagles there. Under 5 minutes to go here.
33-yard punt. No return.
4:56 to go in the first quarter. And here comes that very efficient offense for Graham-Kapowsin. One play and they put the points on the board. And this time it looks like they're going to go out of the I formation with Thomas under center. Turn around and he'll hand it off. Second guy through, big hole up the middle to the 50. And Garcia will ride him to the 45 and pull him down. The runner was Johnson.
28-yard run.
Shabro Johnson with the carry all the way up to the 45 of Mount Vernon. 1st and 10. I think Garcia got on his back and took a ride for at least 5 yards there. Couldn't bring him down. That's a big load.
Yeah, nice run, 28 yards.
Again, under center goes Thomas. Out of the I with 2 receivers on the near side. He'll pitch it. Here goes Johnson again, getting around the left side. Flags go flying in. He got a couple of yards, but usually that's probably a hold. We'll see what the penalty is. We're on the opposite side, so it'll be hard for us to determine what the play or the call is. It is a hold on Graham-Kapowsin. So came in at the end of the play.
That's their second penalty.
That should bring it back into Eagle territory. And about the 48, I believe. Maybe the 47. It's a 48. So first down there, first, and it looks like 16 from the Graham-Kapowsin 47. Hash mark far side from where we are. Wide side of the field will be to the right, and that's where they'll send the 2 receivers. It's cross, and he's wide, and the slot receiver, I believe that's going to be Robertson. Handoff, however, to Johnson. Nope, this is a different runner. I didn't see the number. Did you see the number, Jerry?
Yes, Nico Gola.
Oh, Nico Gola, okay.
Number 35.
35. Nico is one of their defensive standouts as well as one of the running backs. And they got 3 on the carry, so it'll bring up second down and 15 from the 50 at midfield. To go out of the pistol this time, and he'll split 2 to the near side, 1 to the far side. Delayed handoff to number 30. Breaks it loose, cuts it outside, up the numbers. 2 guys trying to pull him down. Number 30 is Michael Kelly Jr., and he got up to the 30-yard line.
20-yard run.
And a first down actually at the 29.
21 yards.
We'll do the addition as we go. So 1st and 10 for the Eagles, leading by a point. 3:06 to go first quarter. 7-6 is the score. Under center goes Thomas. Out of the I. Has receiver on each side. Back to pass he goes. Looks to the far side. Fakes everybody off. Comes back to the near side. Throws to the end zone. Touchdown, Robertson. Malachi with his second, is that right?
Yes, his second touchdown.
And that was another pretty quick possession by Graham-Kapowsin. 2:51 to go in the first quarter. It's now 13-6.
Yeah, 29-yard run catch.
Yes.
Yeah, he's had two, one for 16, one for 29, both touchdowns.
Wood on to kick the point after. Snap, spot, kick. Looks good. It is good. Call it 14-6. 2:51 to go first quarter. Graham-Kapowsin extends its lead. This is KBRC. 30 seconds. If you're wondering why I don't say things, I apologize because I usually do my own board and do all this stuff by myself. So this is different. So about 20 seconds in, just about. So it's 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. (14-6) is the score. I think I said 13 before the break, but it's 14-6, and it 2:51 to go first quarter. Graham-Kapowsin strikes again, 2 consecutive possessions and 2 consecutive touchdowns.
And both quarterbacks have looked really good.
And they got it teed up at the 40 to kick it back to the Bulldogs. Switch my sheet so I know who's got what. Here's the run up and the kick. It is high. It is short. It's going to be taken to the 35. And, drilled at the 35. It was who had the catch there? It looked like it was Alex Perez. Is that right? No. Tobiasen, actually, with the return, and he was just drilled.
25-yard kickoff.
Drilled by Elijah Reed. So the Bulldogs are going to start out on their own 36, 1st and 10. Now they moved the ball quite well their last possession.
They sure did.
It's 3 receivers on the wide side of the field. That's to our side, and it would be to the left. Jensen will go out of the pistol. He's got a receiver on the far side. He'll hand it off. This is a different running back. I didn't see the number. I know it's not Martinez. And it looks like it's Trevor Beener on the carry. And I don't know what happened there, Jerry. Well, forward progress, I guess.
Yeah.
That's that elusive forward progress.
So there was no loss on that.
No loss, no gain. 2nd and 10 from the 36. Jensen will go out of the gun. Pineda in motion from left to right. High snap, handled well. Blitz coming, throws it over the middle, and it's incomplete, intended for Pineda. And Jensen went down in a pile of Eagles. That pocket collapsed fast.
That was the first incomplete pass for the Bulldogs. The quarterback, number 12, is 3 for 4 so far.
Okay, sounds good. I don't know what to say to that. I don't know why, but I don't know what to say to that. 2:01 to go, first quarter. 14-6. Graham-Kapowsin with the lead. Mount Vernon with the ball. This is a Class 4A playoff football. On KBRC, we are live from Art Cart Field, excuse me. High snap again. Jensen under pressure, and he'll throw it just one skip, intended for Carlos Garcia, incomplete. And this blitzing is having some difficulty, or making some difficulties for Mount Vernon here.
Well, for the center, too, I think he's 2 high snaps in a row, and I'm sure he's feeling that pressure.
Well, when they come up to the line and stack it, you got to bark it out, and then you got to snap the ball. That's a lot of responsibility. 1:57 in the first. It's 4th and 10 from the 36 for Mount Vernon. Punting time. We're waiting for the snap. And there it is. Oh, they're going to try to run it. And this is Garcia trying to get somewhere, and he gets up to the 30 actually, and he's tackled there. And there's a flag on the play. I don't know if that was a designed run or did things just broke down.
I'm sure it was a breakdown. I can't imagine running on something like that. Not when you have that many yards to go for.
This is true. We saw something similar last night in the game we were doing. And,
We did.
And it actually worked to the positive. So tonight, not so much. 1:50 on the first quarter clock. And we have a personal foul on Graham-Kapowsin. And that should march it back 15 yards from the 32 where they have it spotted. But it's still Graham-Kapowsin ball. And that should bring it back to the 47 of Mount Vernon. That's where the Eagles will start out with this possession. This will be their third possession, and they have scored touchdowns on their two previous possessions, given that it is a 14-6 score. 150 in the left in the first quarter. And the I formation with two receivers to the left, and that's far side from our position of pitch. That goes to Hansen around the left side. Got it inside the 40 to 39.
Yeah, gain of 8 on the play.
So 2nd down and 2 from the 39 for Graham-Kapowsin. And it's the Mount Vernon 39. 1:20 and counting in the first quarter. Eagles of Graham-Kapowsin leading 14-6. Nate Thomas brings the play in from the far sidelines, brings him out, go out of the gun. Sends two receivers to his right, one to his left. Man in the backfield with him into block. Back to pass he goes. Straight back going to the outside. And that one drops incomplete. Good coverage there. Who was out there on the coverage? Jerry.
20.
The 23, Miguel Castro. I think that's who was on the coverage, but it's incomplete.
So. Nice coverage. Nice coverage.
Well, they've been beat on that play.
Twice.
You're right. So let's tighten it up. I think that's what the coaching staff said. Tighten it up. And that's what they did. 3rd and 2 from the 39 now. 52.4 seconds to go. First quarter. Graham-Kapowsin with the ball. Handoff inside. Big man rumbling straight ahead for the first down. It's number 30, Michael Kelly Jr. He is 235, 6'2". He is a load. Hard to bring down. That'll give the Eagles a first down at the 33. Approaching 30 seconds in the quarter. Thomas will go under center out of the eye. Two receivers to his right. Little play action. Going back to pass. Sets his feet. Throws to the middle. Oh, almost picked off. Intended for Robertson. But Carlos Garcia got there in the path and just couldn't grab hold of it. Incomplete it goes. 2nd down for the Eagles. Garcia was right there. He was reading that like he was the receiver. He knew it was coming, just couldn't grab it. And Robertson actually was more of a defender on that play. Clock is stopped at 15.7 seconds. 2nd down and 10 for Graham-Kapowsin from the Mount Vernon 33. Out of the eye again goes Thomas. He'll pitch it this time. And running up the seam and stumbling to about the 28. Va Hansen. Interesting name. V-A''A, Va. And that'll do it for the first quarter. So 1 quarter in the books. Graham-Kapowsin 14, Mount Vernon 6. We'll be back with the second quarter here on KBRC. So this is a 1-minute break. Trying to track down here. Voice is stopping. Am I overdriving it maybe? Okay. Coming up in 10 seconds. Oh, we're going to have to go here quickly. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a handoff to start the third quarter. Actually, no, it's not. It is a keeper. Oh, and he's fighting his way inside the 10. Was that the keeper? No, that was a handoff. I was right the first time. Don't know who got the handoff, though. I think it was Hansen. We'll give it to Hansen. He'll fight his way inside the, well, actually to the 10, straight up the middle.
Yeah, 18-yard carry.
So that will be first and goal from the 10 for the Eagles. It's like Robertson is running the show here in the quarter. He'll grab it and pull it down, dance his way to the 8, and he'll run out of bounds at the 8 sideways on the run on the keeper.
Two-yard pickup by
So
Robertson.
a couple of yards on it. I'm trying to read the text that I'm getting from the control room. Sorry, folks. So second and goal from the 8 for the Eagles. And Thomas is back in there. He'll go out of the pistol. He's got trips in a bunch at the end of the line to his left. And one back behind him. He'll roll out and throw. He gets it to Robertson. He'll just spin into the end zone, avoiding a lunging Bulldog. It's a touchdown. It was Dylan Carter trying to make a play, but Robertson was able to spin to avoid the tackle, and that's another touchdown.
8 yards.
Very, very impressed with how they get it to Robertson. It doesn't matter how they do it.
And I was blocked from here. Was it a run or a pass?
It was a pass. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, thank you.
You know, like they say, get the ball to your best players, your best athletes in space. Point after coming. Snap, spot, kick. It's good. So tack on another one, 21-7, 10:34 to go, second quarter. Eagles on top. This is KBRC. This is a 30-second. Yeah. Nope. Coming up on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10:34 to go in the half. 21 for Graham-Kapowsin, 6 for Mount Vernon. Eagles scoring on each of their possessions so far. And they got it teed up to kick it back to the Bulldogs. And Jesus Dogolato will do the honors. He'll kick it high and deep. Taken at the 13 to the 20, 25. Getting out to the outside, 30, 35, and that's where he's tripped up. A good return. And that is again, where is he? There he is, Franklin Grulon. And Mount Vernon will start out on their own 36. Actually 37, the nose of the football right at the 37.
43-yard kick off. Nice return.
Nice return. Well, what, 15 yards?
At least, yeah. Let's see. He got it at the 13.
Yeah, and pretty close to 15 yards. Bulldogs come out. Jensen will go out of the gun. Martinez to his left and a step behind him. 3 receivers on our near side. Hand off to Martinez. Martinez trying to go sideways to find some space, and he's just swallowed under by a swarm of Eagles, I think.
Yeah, the handoff wasn't really crisp there.
He managed, it looks like he might have snuck out a yard, Jerry. Let's give him one.
Okay.
Make it 2nd and 9, although they're not moving the sticks at all. All that work, I think he deserves a yard.
Yes.
Of course, our stats are unofficial by any means. out of the gun again. 2 receivers on each side. Back to pass goes Jensen. Sets his feet. He's got to pull it down and run. Still looking downfield. Throws it. It is, dropped at the 50. Intended to Van Stroosma. And it's incomplete. Boy, Stroosma was open, and Jensen did a great job moving his feet and creating some time by stepping it up and then throwing.
Yeah, Victor Martinez for the Bulldogs has been a workhorse tonight. He's had 7 carries so far.
So what's 3rd and 10, they're saying, from the 37, 9:34 to go in the half. 21-6. Graham-Kapowsin with the lead. Mount Vernon with the ball. Out of the gun goes Jensen. Snap. He's going to do a little throwaway back. Oh, what a big deflection, and then it's knocked down. Number 23 jumped up in the air. That's Nazir Ford. 2 big hands on that pass. Popped it straight up in the air. He almost had an interception.
He almost had an interception. He was looking.
Jensen almost had a reception, but wisely dropped it, and that's an incomplete pass. And then there was a little scrum fight for what everybody was thinking was a fumble, but it was an incomplete pass.
It was incomplete. Yeah.
Wise move by Jensen to knock it down.
Just about had an interception now.
Wow. You don't usually see that. Get the deflection and then get the pick.
Yeah.
And I think Ford was looking pick 6. Here's the punt. It was a little off, but Garcia gets it away. It'll take a bounce to the 30, picked up there by Lewis. I'm sorry, no, that's Robertson. Robertson on the outside gets the 50, run out of bounds.
33-yard punt and nice return.
Where are they going to spot it? They're going to spot it in Bulldog territory at the 47. And usually in those situations when it hits the turf and starts to bounce, you just stay away from it because it doesn't usually come to you. Yeah. But he grabbed it and ran. 26-yard return. So 1st and 10 in Bulldog territory for the Eagles, trying to add to their lead, which is now 21-6. 9, it's 26 to go in the half. Thomas out of the gun. Back to pass he goes. He's going to throw to the middle. Oh, it's almost picked off. It's deflected. And by Mount Vernon's number 34, that's Victor Martinez. With 2 big hands, he almost came away with a very similar play. That time, however, it went down. The ball went down after the deflection, and he couldn't pull it down, and that's an incomplete pass. Good defense in the middle of the field. 2nd and 10 from the 47 are the Eagles. 9:21 to go in the half. 21-6 is the score. Graham-Kapowsin with the lead in the ball. Nate Thomas goes under center out of the eye. He'll pitch it. This is Hansen. Hansen trying to go around the right side. Defended well. He's trying to fight for extra yardage up the numbers. Gets inside the 45 to the 44.
He worked hard for those 3 yards.
The Bulldogs had him stopped, and he just kept his feet going and ended up getting 3 out of something that should have been actually no gain. So it brings up 3rd down. Clock is running with 8:50 to go in half. Out of the pistol goes Thomas. Back to pass he goes. Throws to the near side. There's Robertson. Dropped immediately there by number 31 for Mount Vernon. That's Franklin Gruen, but it's a 1st down at the 34.
10-yard pickup on that throw.
It's almost as if you need something to happen, you throw it anywhere towards Malachi Robertson, and he manages to catch it. I don't care where it is or who's on him, and he's not exactly a big guy at 5'8", 175.
99 yards so far on 3 receptions.
He's in the slot on the far side. Out of the eye will go Thomas. 3-step drop, dump it off to Robertson. Robertson in the screen. Going to juke and jive away from one guy, get to the 25. And he's still going inside the... These Eagles do not quit, Jerry. It doesn't matter. Anybody else would have been stopped. He kept fighting, and he got easily, or not easily, but he got the 1st down at the 23. What a run after the catch. by Malachi Robertson.
4th catch by Robertson.
I'm going to have to remember him. He's one of those guys that's kind of small, and you kind of lose him under the big linemen sometimes.
Quarterback is 4 for 7 so far.
He'll
for
come
Graham-Kapowsin.
to the nearest slot and go in motion on the near side. They'll just kind of toss it to him. Oh, it's going to be a halfback pass or an in pass. He's going to go to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. That was caught by Trevor Merck for the TD, and the passer was Malachi Robertson. He can catch, he can run, and now we know he can throw.
How many yards on that one?
It was from the, oh boy, you're going to make me think now, Jerry.
It was, I think, the
23.
I believe it was.
Yeah, 23. So the Eagles tack on another one. And that's a touchdown, that is. And point after coming. Kick is, oh, I think he missed this one. Nope, he got it. He just hooked it. And that it makes it 28-6, 7:07 to go, first half. Graham-Kapowsin scoring on every possession and mixing it up while they're doing it. This is playoff football. Class 4A from Spanaway on KBRC. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Coming back 15. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 7:07 to go in the first half. 28-6. Graham-Kapowsin scores yet again on another possession, and they're ready to kick it back to the Bulldogs, who have stalled. Ooh, this is a short and high kick that'll be fair caught at the 35. And that was Dylan Carter. I don't know, that might have been a good or bad idea, but it was high and short. You don't usually see those. You know, Jerry, I'm looking at the sidelines for Mount Vernon, and they've got this thing on a really tall tripod. I'm wondering what that is. You see that over here?
I see it, yes.
I'm wondering what that is. If that's a camera, I'd like to get my hands on that. I don't know.
I'm sure that is a camera.
I'm sure that is a camera, too. 7:06 to go in the first half. 28-6 is the score. Graham-Kapowsin on top. Mount Vernon with the ball out of the gun. We'll go Jensen, fakes the handoff to Panetta in motion, and he'll hand it off to the second back through, and I think that's Martinez up to the 40, well, actually 39. Actually, no, it's not Martinez. It's number 22, and that's Trevor Beener. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. To the
Gain of 4.
Yeah, to the 39. 2nd and 6 for the Bulldogs. Taking their time here, 15 on the play clock. It's really nice to have that play clock, Jerry. Down to 10 now. Actually, under 10. 5. There's a snap. Hand it off. This is, I believe it's Panetta on the carry. Could be wrong. Nope, it is going to be Beener again. Man, got
Gain of 2.
Gain of 2. 3rd and 4 coming. Ball at the 41 of Mount Vernon. Clock is running with 6 minutes to go in the first half. In facilities without a play clock, you look at the guy in the backfield or in the secondary who raises his hand at 5 seconds. I'm going to see if he does that now. No chance to do that. Handoff. Here is Beener trying to get to the 45. Very close to the first down.
Very
straight
close.
Up the middle. They're going to say it's first down, Jerry. So 1st and 10 for Mount Vernon on their 45. Sounds like a little mini earthquake here, Jerry, as the Mount Vernon fans are stomping their feet after that first down. 5:15 to go in the half. Clock is running. Graham-Kapowsin has a 28-6 lead here. Mount Vernon with the ball. Jensen will go out of the gun. Martinez back in there. He's a yard behind him and to his left. 2 receivers. That's Pineda in motion, a little fake, and then a handoff to Martinez. Martinez trying to find some running room around the left side, left of the center. Got a couple. Hard running.
Gain of 2 by Martinez.
Not a lot of room to run in there, Jerry. But Victor's doing a good job trying to find some holes. Clock is running, 4.5 minutes to go in the half. Jensen again out of the gun with Martinez. This time to his right. Back to pass he goes. Throws to the middle. It's a little short pass that a little too hard, or too high, excuse me, for Pineda to grab. It goes incomplete. It's 3rd and 8.
The quarterback, Skylar Jensen, is 3 for 7.
Clock is stopped at 4:19 in the half. Mount Vernon has a 3rd and 8. Taking their time.
Yeah, there is no sense of urgency there, is there?
15 on the play clock. Now it's down to 10. Jensen will go out of the gun. 2 receivers on each side. There's the snap. Back to pass, short drop. Dumps it off to Pineda. That was low, and there's a flag flying in the middle of the pack. They did count that as a complete pass, Jerry, it looks like.
Yeah, a bubble screen pass.
Well, unfortunately, it was thrown low. Pineda was jumping up and down. He wanted that ball before Jensen even saw him. But we have a flag on the play at the line of scrimmage, behind the line of scrimmage, actually. So we're likely going to see another holding call. Wait a minute. Did they pick it up? Oh, it is a hold. It was a hold, and they refused it. So the result of the play is 4th down. So no penalty. It'll be 4th and 8 from the 48 in a punting situation. Carlos Garcia is back there to punt it away. Robertson will be waiting for the punt at his 20. I think you want to keep it away from him as much as possible. He's dangerous. Snap on target. Garcia gets it away. It'll take a bounce. Robertson will pick it up at the 17. Drop down immediately by Pineda. Good coverage there.
Very nice tackle.
No return, although Robertson really tried to fake that he didn't get tackled there and put his knee down. He got right up and started running. The referees right on the play say, sorry, you're down.
Good tackle by Cads. By number 28, Cads Pineda.
Great tackle, great coverage. Got down there to make the play. So Graham-Kapowsin got to be their worst starting field position of the night at 12. 3:44 to work in the half.
Looks like it's at the 17.
Is it 17? You're right. 17. You're right. I'm thinking. I was looking at the 10. Didn't see the 15 marker. Little dump off pass to Robertson. Stopped immediately after he caught the ball. And I believe the tackle was by Grulon. And he managed to pick up 6 yards on that to the 22. 23 actually is where they spot the ball. Out of the gun goes Thomas. Take a short drop. Throw it a little high, but Robertson grabbed it. Made a guy miss as Garcia steps by the defender again at the 40. He's got guys all around him. He'll bang bodies and dive across the 45 to the 46. Boy, that guy is elusive.
22-yard pass play.
He was stopped, and he made Garcia miss, and then a couple other guys tried to grab him, and he slipped by them, and then he ran into a pack of Bulldogs and managed to squeak out another 2. So 1st and 10 at the 46 for Mount Vernon, or sorry, for Graham-Kapowsin, excuse me, in on the Eagles 46, 2:40 to go in the half. Out of the gun will go Thomas. 2 receivers on the far side, 1 on the near. Back behind him. He'll shift to the other side. Hand it off to him. And the big man will rumble to the 40 of Mount Vernon. That's number 30 on the carry. And I got the wrong sheet in front of me. And that's, who is that?
16-yard.
Michael Kelly Jr., I'm sorry. You think I would know that because he's had the ball a couple of times. Inside the 40 at the 38 of Mount Vernon. 2:11 to go in the half.
Yeah, 16-yard run.
28-6, Graham-Kapowsin with the lead in the ball in Mount Vernon territory. I think we're going to get a timeout here. We do have a timeout by Graham-Kapowsin. Under 2 minutes to go in the half. 1:57 in the second quarter. I think we'll just keep it right here.
First
Jerry?
timeout.
Jerry, you have anything to say here?
Well, I'm certainly impressed with the quarterback. You said he had about 127 rating. I don't know of too many NFL quarterbacks that have that. Maybe Russell Wilson. But you look at his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 passes out of 9 so far.
I'm pretty impressed with Graham-Kapowsin's efficiency. And so far, it's been get the ball to Malachi Robertson. And he's done a lot of the work here with a couple of good runs by Michael Kelly Jr.
Yeah, Malachi has caught 5 passes, 5 of those passes.
And 3 touchdowns, is that right?
He has 2.
2 touchdowns, okay. So we're back to action here. Out of the gun will go Thomas. Fake the handoff, and he'll throw it back. And this is Kelly. Kelly dances up the sidelines inside the 10 where he's pulled out of bounds. Kelly just, when he gets running, there's no stopping him. Michael Kelly Jr., his full name.
28-yard pass play.
Inside the 10 to the 6, first and goal for Graham-Kapowsin. 1:40 in the half, clock is running.
Yeah, his first catch of the game.
But he is a load to bring down, and he was like a bowling ball, running over some Bulldogs.
I want to apologize. That's a 32-yard pass play instead.
Okay. So Thomas will go under center out of the eye. At the end of the eye is Sabro Johnson, and he'll get the handoff, and he stood up at the 5. Good defense by the Bulldogs. First guy there, I'm thinking, is Martinez.
Can I give him a 1 yard?
Yeah, he got to the 5. So it'll be second and goal from the 5. Under a minute to go, actually closing in on 50 seconds in the half. 28-6, Graham-Kapowsin with the lead and the ball. They're knocking on the door. Thomas is going to go back under center out of the eye. He's got a receiver on each side. Everybody's set. Back to pass he goes. Short drop going for the far corner. And a little too far intended for Daughtry. Ethan Daughtry. A little too far, and it went out of bounds. If he had a little better accuracy on that and more speed, that would have been another 6 points for Graham-Kapowsin. But as it is third and goal from the 5. 34.2 seconds to go in the half.
I mean, maybe a little more to the left. It's your left shoulder, too.
True. Again, Thomas goes under center, out of that eye. The receiver on each side, inside handoff. Big man rumbles in, and that's Kelly with the touchdown run. Straight up the middle, nobody touched him.
5-yard touchdown run.
So add 6 more, it's 34-6 now. 31.4 seconds to go in the half. Point after coming. Waiting for the snap. Snap spot and the kick. It is good. So make it 35-6. 31.4 seconds to go in the half. All Graham-Kapowsin here tonight. We'll be right back. This is Playoff Football on KBRC. Another 30-second break. Wish I brought some water in, Jerry. I didn't do it tonight.
Yeah, it's tough bringing all this stuff in, You've got a lot of stuff to pack in and pack out.
Coming up in 10 seconds. It's a lot less than last night, actually. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kickoff coming for Graham-Kapowsin after the TD. They lead 35-6 with 31.4 seconds remaining in the first half. Got a different guy back there to see what he can do for Mount Vernon. It is Alex Fast working with, well, he's on the far side. See if they'll kick to him. Nope, they'll do a little squib kick that's going to bounce and the ball popped out, but it was first guy to get there was Dylan Carter, and it popped out of his hands. And I think,
but Mount Vernon did recover.
Yeah, Mount Vernon did recover, and it was who was it? It was Trevor Beener with the second effort to recovery there at the 34. First and 10 for Mount Vernon with 30.6 seconds to work.
Yeah, and Trevor's been very active tonight. Trevor Beener on both sides of the ball for Mount Vernon.
So the Bulldogs come out with 3 receivers on the far side and 1 on the near side. Out of the gun will go Jensen. Back behind him, or beside him actually. Back to pass he goes. He's going to throw into the flat. It's complete to Garcia to midfield after the 45. Good catch and then immediately hit. Hard hit. Trying to see who hit him. 40, 34, 24. 24 on the tackle for Graham-Kapowsin. That's Billy Finnizzi. And we do have a timeout. With 16.8 seconds to go, we'll remind you that we will be picking a player of the game sponsored by Banner Bank this evening, as well as we will have the Pacific Power Batteries Power Play of the Game. And we're going to have a lot of choices, Jerry. We've seen a lot of power tonight. A lot of power tonight on both sides of the ball. If you're tallying at home, I would have to say that Graham-Kapowsin's Kelly would be the leading candidate for that award for tonight's broadcast. But we'll decide that for at the end of the ball game. 24 seconds on the clock is what they'll put up. It is a first and 10 at the 45 of Mount Vernon. Trailing in this ball game. Well, I reset the play clock. Jensen will go out of the gun with back to pass. Throw it complete. This is Garcia. Nice coverage and caught right after he made the catch by Taylor Sabin.
Good for 4 yards on that play.
And another quick timeout for the Bulldogs. 17.2 seconds on the clock. And we'll just keep it right here. Coming up at halftime, we'll get Jerry to give us all the stats that he has. And he has sheets all over the place here and a lot to add up. We will talk about that at half, but we have 17.2 seconds until halftime. It's a 35-6 ball game.
And I would say right now, Carlos Garcia for Mount Vernon, number 3, and probably number 34, Victor Martinez, have been the 2 individuals that have stood out for me for the Bulldogs.
I'd agree with that. We have a lot of football yet to play. Out of the gun will go Jensen with a 2nd and 6 from the 49. Back to pass he goes. He'll step up and, he'll be sacked. Down he goes. And that pretty much, 10 seconds.
Loss of about 5 on the play.
So we have a timeout by Mount Vernon again with 10.3 seconds in the half. And that sack kind of hurt Mount Vernon. Dropped the ball, the game, or the ball back to the 44. It's 3rd and 11.
Time for one play? Maybe 2.
Maybe 2. We'll see.
Yeah.
Might do, I think you send everybody downfield and do the heave.
Oh, the Hail Mary?
Well, the Hail Mary or the long, I don't know how strong Jensen's arm is. We haven't really seen that so far tonight, but I'm assuming that he's going to be
Well,
able
he's thrown for 35. He had one
okay.
completion for 35, so he does have a fairly good arm. You know.
Well, we'll see what they draw up. Jensen will send to 3 out wide to the left, 1 to the right. And he'll go out of the gun. It's got 10.3 seconds to work. And I'm not sure what we're waiting for here.
I think they're going to have to reset that clock because it went from 10 point something.
Now it's up to 12. Okay, so they added a couple of seconds to the clock. It's really difficult to communicate that from the field to the press box or the spotter box or announcer box.
Unless they have a...
Well, I don't know if they do or they don't. It's hard to say what they have here. And back to pass goes Jensen. He'll step up. He's looking down the field. He's going to have to take the tackle, and there's a flag at the end of the play. 4.5 seconds remaining.
Gain of 2 on the play. It could be a personal foul.
There, Jensen kind of got up with a little bit of a limp there. Let's see what we have.
I'm thinking
it's a personal foul and targeting to the head, or hit to the head. Targeting is when they do this. You know, if they put the hand up to the head, that's just hit to the helmet. So that'll give Mount Vernon a first down on a 15-yard penalty, but they have 4.5 seconds to work. And I'm a little concerned about Jensen. He came out of that after that tackle, trying to walk off some sort of a sprain or strain to his left ankle, looks like. He's loosening it up right now. He looks okay, but when he got up, he was a little bit, didn't look right.
Yeah.
But he seems okay right now. So 1st and 10 from the 40. Look, actually call it the 39. With 4.5 seconds. And Jensen's still walking around. I think he just wants to play. Tired of these delays. Same formation with 3 to the left and 1 to the right and back beside him. Back to pass he goes. He's going to throw long for a guy there, and it's intercepted on the pick. I can't see who has it, but he returns it up to the 45, still on his feet inside Bulldog territory. There's 2 flags on the play, by the way. And who came up with number 24 for Graham-Kapowsin, and that is Billy Finizzi. I got it right that time. So that's an interception, but we have flags, and we also have a hat on the field, so somebody went out of bounds. Or is that another penalty?
It's either holding or clipping. You don't hear clipping called, is it?
Not much anymore. And you could actually have thrown a flag before the interception because there was a lot of pushing and shoving on both sides when the pass was up in the air. But these flags, I'm assuming that there's actually going to be 3 penalties. I see, well, 2. There's a hat, and then a bunch of flags in a pile. A flag over at near the 49, and 1 up at the 42. It's going to be a hold on Graham-Kapowsin and a personal foul on Mount Vernon. So these are going to be offsetting. Do we have an untimed down here? I think that's actually going to do it for the first half. So that'll end on an interception and a couple of penalties. But the Eagles head to the locker room with a 35-6 lead here in the 4A playoffs. Mount Vernon trots off, and Graham-Kapowsin slowly making their way to their locker room. That's kind of interesting. Been entertaining first half, Jerry. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. We'll be back with Mr. Apple's stats. Mr. Apple's stats. I just came up with a new thing to say when we come back. This is KBRC. 2 minutes. Well, that's what's happening. So I didn't talk about this, but do we have something at halftime, or do we fill for 15? Well, we got 12 up here. That's different. Yeah, I'm going to have to tell Jeff Rex that this is not ideal by any means. I'm sorry about that. Okay, let's clear all that out. So this is a 2-minute break, and we're about 55 seconds in. So 1 minute in, so 1 minute until we return. Jerry, are you... How much time? You can talk.
5 minutes.
5 minutes? Oh, okay. Well, I'll ramble on or wax poetic or something for a couple of minutes. Take a time out and we'll come back with you. So we're coming up on 30 seconds. $15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Halftime at Art Crate Field in Spanaway. Graham-Kapowsin leading Mount Vernon by a score of 35-6. We'll get into the statistics in just a moment as Jerry's got a lot of additions to do, and I keep forgetting that I have to buy him a calculator because he's got his shoes off and he's making some calculations with his toes. I'm sorry, I just had to go there. Okay. Just wanted to say something. This is not my first Mount Vernon game. I actually, back in, I had to be the year 2000. I was my very first attempt at calling a football game, and it was actually a Mount Vernon game. They were playing Linden. I was on the sidelines at the 20, and I was calling the overtime, opposite end of the field, by the way, and it was a 2-point loss to win by Linwood, excuse me. And I can remember it very clearly. It was a 2-point conversion pass to the end zone, back of the end zone, that just was dropped, and that was the end of the game. And it was my very first experience calling football. Done a lot of basketball, and I said I wanted to try football, and this was like a secondary game, and I'm on my cell phone, and this was a big old cell phone. This is one of the big cell phones back in the day, and I'm on the side of the field. It was very interesting. I just thought I wanted to throw that story out there for everybody. Back in the day, as they say. So Jerry's still doing his calculations. We'll take another 2-minute timeout, and we'll come back with Mr. Apple Stats in a moment on KBRC. Two minutes. Should give you enough time, right? Oh, I hope everything's going good, because I am... For some reason, I'm running out of steam. This doing? Good enough. All right, so coming up on a minute. That smoke has not gone away, Jerry. Look at that, especially over here.
Yeah, that's still.
Okay, 1 minute. Stop it. 30 seconds. You know, that thing behind us, Jerry, that thing's making all kinds of weird noise, driving me nuts. 15. It's got a high-pitched little whine. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. halftime. Class 4A football playoffs from Spanaway, Washington. It's the Art Crate Field, just in the campus of Bethel High School. Halftime score, Graham-Kapowsin 35, Mount Vernon 6. And we do have, Jerry's all done with his calculations. You're losing your headset there, Jerry. Put it on top of your head so it doesn't fall down the middle of your report. Let's talk about your stats.
Sure. Thanks, Deidre. Well, let's start with Graham-Kapowsin. Graham-Kapowsin has 7 first downs. They had 222 yards in the air.
Wow.
Quarterback was, number 3 was 9 for 13. His longest pass was 60 yards. He also had a pass for 29, another one for 22, and another one for 32. The first 2 passes, 60 and 29, were good for touchdowns. So if you add the 222 yards they had in the air, let's add that to the rushing. They had 90 yards on the ground, and a lot of that was from number 30, Kelly.
Yeah.
He had 5 carries for 55 yards. Also, number 5, Hansen, had 23 yards. So, and if you add up that plus number 7, Shabribo Johnson, had 3 carries for 12 yards. So, 90 yards on the ground, and you add the 90 to the 222, a total of 322 yards for Graham-Kapowsin here in the first half. They did have 60 yards in penalties on 5 penalties for 60 yards.
Let's correct that. It's 5 accepted penalties, because there were a couple others.
That is true. There was a couple offsetting.
Yeah, and the one that was declined. So
Yep.
Just to clarify, not that it matters.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
But
Jerry.
you're right, yeah, on that. The Bulldogs, according to my record, has 3 first downs. They, number 12, the quarterback, Skylar Jensen, threw 10 times, completed 5. His longest pass was for 35 yards. The leading rusher for the Bulldogs was
Martinez.
Martinez, number 34, Victor Martinez. He had 8 carries for 20 yards. They had a total of 44 yards on the ground, and if you add the 44 and the 120, if you add the 44 and the 79 in the air, they had a total of 123 yards. So 79 passing and 44 on the ground for 123. One nice thing about the Bulldogs, I only have 1 penalty for them. They were penalty free almost.
No, the one at the end of the play.
Yeah.
Is that the only one?
Well,
was
that
there
end of the play,
Or
I
into the
did not
second
count that
Okay.
because it was an offsetting penalty.
Right, very good. There's another one of those things. You
But
just
I
pointed
could,
out.
I don't know. I guess when you,
You're right.
To me, a penalty is when you gain an advantage.
Right, exactly. I agree with you, Jerry.
And so I didn't count that one, although some people might.
Well, it goes down as a penalty, just not yardage.
Right.
I think that's what they officially do it.
Okay.
I'm only speculating because you're the stat guy. I'm not. So
Well,
your judgment is
I'm
better
learning
than mine.
From you. And I want to say something about Mount Vernon. Carlos Garcia, I thought, played well on defense.
Oh yes, he's been and a lot of plays offensively. He was targeted a lot of times. He just didn't catch anything, or his defense.
He did catch 4 passes.
Well, yeah, but he was targeted more than that. I think he at least 4 others thrown to him that didn't get completed.
Yeah.
And on defense he's been called to action as out there to cover Robertson for most part. And that's a hard guy.
Is so fast.
Hard guy to
And
keep
shifty.
up with. Shifty and small. I mean, 5'8". Okay, I'm 5'9", so he's an inch shorter than me.
Yeah.
He's obviously younger than me, and he can run like the Dickens, and he doesn't give up. I'm so surprised at how tough he is. I mean, he goes in and challenges any guy, and in this case tonight, 2, 3, 4 guys he has taken on head on, and ended up getting a couple
his feet
extra
keep
yards.
moving.
Yeah, well, and
You know?
he must love contact because, wow.
So Mount Vernon did have a couple bright spots there, and I would definitely say number 3 and number 34 have been workhorses. Number 12 completed 5 of 10.
Yeah.
He did have a couple losses on quarterback sacks, which hurt as far as the rushing. They would have had 16 more yards, which would have given 60 yards total on the ground instead of 44.
Anything else you have there?
Kicking's been pretty good. Punting's been pretty good, I think.
We've only had 3 punts.
Yeah, and I think those have been by Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon, yeah. Graham-Kapowsin has scored on every possession. Yeah. And it's like we said in the beginning, Graham-Kapowsin came out on the field and they look energized. They look ready to go. Mount Vernon, a little subdued. And I don't know if that is a concern. Is that a little bit of a bus ride hangover? I don't know. Or, coming down here and facing one of the elite teams in the state, you got to get up to, you could always pull up the upset. You never know. That's why you play the games. And they've just been a little subdued tonight. And I'm wondering if that has something to do with it.
And I know that you have 2 really tough teams in that Mount Vernon league, Mount Vernon play. That's Monroe
and
of course Lake Stevens.
Yes.
You can't say enough about Lake Stevens. They're usually ranked number 1 or 2 in the 4A.
Right, and yeah, this is a hard road to go for the playoffs. But you're not completely out of this game. It's 35-6. Still got another half to go. Anything can happen here. You can find what works for you.
I think they're going to have to be in a little more of a hurry-up mode. We noticed that.
Yeah, they seem to be very lackadaisical, and not lackadaisical, just there's no urgency. They don't seem to be. Maybe that's coaching style. Let's just relax and take it as it comes. That's one way of doing it. When you're down 29 points, it's kind of hard not to have some sort of urgency in your game here. So, we're just a few minutes before the third quarter. We will take another 2-minute timeout, and we'll be back with more here at Art Crate Field in Spanaway. It's 35-6, Graham-Kapowsin on top of Mount Vernon in the Class 4A playoffs here on KBRC. Back in 2 minutes.
I do have one more thing to say.
No, we got time. I'm just trying to get these spots in. There's the list that they have. That's one thing that I don't have. I should have these on all my games, but I don't have them.
You can mark it off. And just kind of
well, that's the board op is playing them.
Oh.
I don't have control over that. I'm just.
Oh, you don't? Oh,
no.
Okay.
So this is a live broadcast back from the radio station in Mount Vernon.
Understand. Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And they're inserting.
Right. Takes a little bit of load off.
Right. Well, it's just different than what I've been doing all season, which is.
Yeah.
push the button here. Yeah. But then I have control over what's happening, and when they see that they're going, coming back quickly, see, look at them. There's no urgency at all out of them. A little bit from the back, but not much at all. They're just walking out.
Well.
I mean, even after that loss last night, Shelton was more energetic than this.
Yeah, and that was a positive that I saw, Shelton. They did not give up, those kids.
Yeah.
They did not give up.
Let me see. Here. Okay, wait. 30 seconds. Trying to see what the message is here. Oh, sponsor done. Well, get ready to give them some extra. Oops. I got 10 online. I'm sorry. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, waiting for the start of the third quarter. Graham-Kapowsin leads Mount Vernon 35-6. And Mount Vernon has come out of the locker room, and here comes Graham-Kapowsin. And again, there's just kind of this methodical walk to the Bulldogs tonight, and I'm not sure why. Now, when I'm looking at Garcia he's got a little bit of a gimp to his walk there, too. Interesting. So maybe the Bulldogs are a bit banged up here as we're just a couple of minutes away from the start of the third quarter. Usually they put 3 minutes up on the clock. There we go. So we have another 3 minutes. You had something else that you wanted to bring up, Jerry?
I did want to say that Mount Vernon did score to make it 14-6 in favor of Graham-Kapowsin on a 22-yard pass play to number 3, Carlos Garcia. Unfortunately, the point after attempt was no good.
That was blocked, which is something you don't normally see. I want to bring up something about the extra points I've noticed from Graham-Kapowsin. When the snap comes, when you put the ball down, the snap is right here and it goes right down. There's no distance. It was like almost in the perfect spot to kick, and I have never seen that, not in the pros or college or anywhere. But you watch this, and the snaps are right on target, and they're right there for the holder to put down. He doesn't have to do anything. It's like he just
gives
stuffs it.
them at least a half a second more time.
Yeah,
maybe more.
It's just very interesting. I don't think I've ever seen it. And watch it on the next time, or if there is another kick, it's just right there. He's like, he puts it down. I don't know if it's the holder who's got great hands, but obviously the long snapper is excellent.
The more I think about that, you're right. Whether it's college or pro, you see him catch it.
Yeah, it could be anywhere, and these have been. I mean, you watch it next time, and it's like it comes, and he just has to like stop it and put it down. Just stop it. It's right there. It's already ready to kick. Well, that's very odd.
Very less likely to be blocked.
Well, very, very much so. I mean, the kicker for Graham-Kapowsin, and I'm trying to think. Oh, it's Delgolato. He is only came close to missing one. He hooked one. Oh, look, the eagle's going down. Jerry. The eagle came down. That was very interesting. I guess they're letting the air out of the eagle. He just came down and put his beak on the ground. It was very interesting. You have to see it to believe it. Jerry and I usually work some video, and if that was the case, I would have had the camera on that when I noticed that. That would have been kind of funny to watch. But, yeah. So we're about a minute away from the third quarter. Graham-Kapowsin will get the ball to start the third, and they are on top 35-6. Mount Vernon needs to figure out some way to stop Graham-Kapowsin. That is a tall order in itself, obviously, as we've seen a very efficient offense. One thing I was going to mention about Graham-Kapowsin and the backup quarterback, number 15, which is Joshua Wood. He has appeared in 4 games. His passer rating is 152.
He's only a sophomore.
Well, you go from a guy who's obviously played 8 games. Well, so this statistic came from the week 8. Doesn't include the last week, and he's 127. And then you have your backup at 152. Now, granted, he has thrown 9 passes with 7 completions, 104 yards.
And he probably has had no interceptions.
Actually,
with that high of rating.
No interceptions. Thomas has been intercepted 4 times.
Because that interception will drop you down about 20 points.
Well, Wood has 1 touchdown. Coming into, last week, Thomas had 18 touchdown passes. Oh, we're about ready to play ball. Okay. So I'm looking at statistics and can get lost in the numbers sometimes.
Sure.
I'm seeing they did put the 15-yard penalty, Jerry, against the Bulldogs because they're kicking it off from the 25. So that was their second penalty.
So a total of 30 yards.
Yeah. Interesting. I didn't see that call indicated at the end of the half. So the Bulldogs will be kicking it off from their own 25, which should give Graham-Kapowsin excellent field position, which they've had most of the evening. So here is the run up and the kick. This one is going to be high and end over end, taken at the 32. And he'll return to the 45 untouched. He'll cut it to the outside, working on the left side and inside Bulldog territory, down inside the 35 to the 33 on the return. And I'm thinking
35-yard return.
that was Daughtry on the return, number 8. And he did a good job weaving his way to the outside to get all the way down to the 34 is where they're going to spot it. 1st and 10 for Graham-Kapowsin, and you're giving them a short field. They really don't need any help. Thomas will come out. He'll go out of the gun. He'll send 3 receivers on our side of the field, which is to the right. Man in motion, that's Daughtry. He'll go to the other side of the line and set up in the slot on the far side. Kelly shifts out, and it's going to be an option. Ooh, nice fake, but Thomas is brought down after, looks like a 2-yard pickup, going straight up the middle. He might have wanted to toss that one, Jerry. Jerry, move your microphone up a little bit. There you go. Your ID is kicking against the microphone. We don't want to hear that. And they're only going to give him 1 yard. Interesting. So it's 2nd and 9. We're in the 3rd quarter. Ball is at the 32 of Mount Vernon. Graham-Kapowsin on the move again. And this is the opening possession of the 3rd quarter. Back to pass goes Thomas. He'll throw it out to the flat. It's complete. As this Robertson. And gets spun out of bounds. That's Daughtry actually on the reception inside the 15 on the far side with a 1st down. Graham-Kapowsin. If I didn't have these wires here and have a better view. There we go.
17-yard pass play.
Ball spotted right at the 15. 1st and 10 for Graham-Kapowsin. Clock is running with 10:35 to go, 3rd quarter. Eagles go up to the line of scrimmage. Daughtry goes wide to the left. Robertson in the slot on the right. And it's a handoff to Kelly. Kelly breaks a tackle and then falls forward to the 10, very close to the 10. He got caught by the ankles and just fell forward for another 3 yards, Jerry.
Gain of 5 on the play.
Spot the ball just shy of the 10. They're going to actually call it the 11, so it's 2nd and 6. You can give him 5, not that he needs any help. And here they go. They go under center out of the eye. We'll go Thomas, 2 receivers on the near side. He'll hand it off. And this is Johnson. Yeah, Johnson. Chabreau Johnson slid into the end zone, but they're going to call him down at the 1.
11-yard gain.
Just tripped up enough. So 1st and goal for the Eagles at the Mount Vernon 1. 9:20 to go, 3rd quarter. I'm glad I don't have a camera because the shot would be blocked completely. Because I'm barely seeing the line of scrimmage where the ball is. Under center goes Thomas. He'll hand it off to Johnson. He'll just run over a Bulldog into the end zone for the touchdown. Is that Garcia? No, it was the man that took that hit. Oh, boy. Must be 18. It was Alex Fast. Run over by Johnson, and it's now 41-6. And here's the kick. Can you see the holder at all? Watch this. The holder is Julian Mason. See? He just barely puts it down. The kick is good.
He moved it
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. That's all it took. So it's now 42-6 with 9:08 to go in the 3rd. We will take a 30-second timeout. We'll be back. This is Playoff Football on KBRC. I don't know what your guys' policy back there, but, my radio experience, we just start over at the top and work our way through. Give them bonuses, I guess, but that's your call. 30-second break. course, I'd also have like to have a guy walk in with a camera like that. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, that was a 1-yard touchdown run by number 7, Johnson, for Graham-Kapowsin.
Score is 42-6. Eagles are getting set to kick it back or kick it to the Bulldogs for the first time in this second half. And Fast is coming out late for the Bulldogs. He'll go to the farthest side. Pineda, actually they're going to switch. Pineda will go over to the far side, which the way it's kicking would be the left. And Fast is on the right, about the 10. Kick is short and fair caught. Wise decision by Dylan Carter again. That's his second time that he's done that. Just fair caught it. Let's start here. And the Bulldogs are going to start out on the 34. Yep, that's where they'll spot the ball.
So a 26-yard kick, no return.
So 9:08 to go, third quarter. Graham-Kapowsin on top, 42-6. Mount Vernon coming out from the sidelines. Jensen and Martinez exchanging a couple of words, walking, would say to the huddle, but they've already huddled up. Get set for the play. 2 receivers on this near side. Garcia, the wideout. Looks like Jensen is changing the play. There's a bunch of 2 group on the far at the end of the line, and there's going to be a delay of game. So not a good start for Mount Vernon here in the third quarter.
That's their 3rd penalty of the game.
So they'll go back 5 to the 29. It'll be 1st and 15. Jensen was changing the play at the line of scrimmage. He saw something. He just didn't have enough time. He forgot he can look down the field and see the play clock, which right now is at 15. So they'll march out and set it up again. Garcia and Pineda near side. Can't see who's wide to the far side. Hand off to Martinez, and he'll power his way to about the 32, straight up the middle. Gets 3 yards back. It'll be 2nd and 12. It's a really nice crowd for Mount Vernon that made the trip down here.
Good.
Battled the traffic. I'm glad to see that. Jensen will go out of the gun. He's got 3 receivers on the near side. He's going to pitch it to Martinez. Ball's free. Flag on the play, and Martinez dives on it about the 18. I think they're going to get another illegal hit on Jensen after the pitch, Jerry, because it came right after he pitched it to Martinez. And it did go on Graham-Kapowsin. I'm looking down at the Mount Vernon sidelines, and they have this green tint up, and there's a big TV box in there. I'm assuming they're watching the plays. With one of the cameras out here. I'm assuming I can't see it. So wait for them to assess the penalty, which should give Mount Vernon the first down if it is what I thought it was. Again, we're on the opposite side, so we don't see what the exact penalty is. Actually, where they're spotting the penalty, it's might be short of the first down. Jerry?
Yeah, they got to make it to the 44.
They're going to get up to the 44. Or no, the 39, excuse me. So they're going to be 5 yards short. So 2nd and 5 after the penalty, which I'm not sure what it was. And it's again targeting to the head. So a helmet contact on the quarterback or on the player, and that's a 15-yard penalty on Graham-Kapowsin. So they wind the clock. It's 2nd and 5 from the Mount Vernon 32, or the Bulldogs, with 8:15 to go in the third quarter. Out of the gun goes Jensen. He's got 3 receivers to his left. He's back to pass. He's looking this way. He's going to be sacked. Big number 59 jumped in there, jumped in front of him. That's Hunter Hill. Forced Schuyler to pull it down, and then took him down for the sack.
It was a 9-yard loss.
Ball back at the 31. So it'll be 3rd and 12, 13. As Jerry mentioned, then Bulldogs have to get to the 44 for the first down. So double wing set now for the Bulldogs. And out of the gun will go Jensen. Hand it off to Martinez, and that play was blown up by a blitz. And Martinez loses one. Back at the 30.
So we're looking at a loss of 1 on the play.
So that'll bring up 4th down.
Punting situation.
Yep. So Garcia's in there to punt it away. Gets the snap that was a little high, but a nice spiraling kick that will be hitting at the 39 and take a Bulldog bounce and chasing it down and being tackled back inside the 20. For Graham-Kapowsin is Miles Haywood, number 22.
If I was Graham-Kapowsin on that one, I would have just let that roll.
Well, you know, when you sit there all season and watch Robertson do the same thing, chase balls, pick them up and run, you kind of get that in your head that that's what you're going to do too. Unfortunately, Hayward touched it and couldn't keep it, and he had to track it down. And then they'll give Graham-Kapowsin one of the worst starting field positions they've had tonight. The worst was, the 17, I think. Now they're starting out on the 20. Was it the 14? Can't remember now. And so Thomas goes under center, hands it off, and this is Johnson straight up the middle across the 35 to the 37. Wow. Nobody touched him until he hit the secondary.
17-yard run by Johnson.
Chabreau, the blocking up front has just been outstanding for Graham-Kapowsin tonight, making those holes.
Well, you can't give enough credit to the offensive line for Graham-Kapowsin.
Thomas goes under center, out of the eye again. A receiver on each side. Hand it off to Johnson again. This time the Bulldogs stop him at the line of scrimmage. Good penetration, and a first guy to wrap him up, or actually wrap his legs up, trying to see who his number is. I think that is Martinez with the tackle.
Are we looking at 1 turnover so far in this game, I believe?
Yes, I think you're right.
Okay, and that was interception by Graham-Kapowsin?
Yes.
Okay.
So 1 yard gain for the Eagles. Ball to the 37.5, close to 38. So second, they're calling it 10. I'm calling it 9. Hand off again to Johnson. Stutter steps behind his line. Actually, no, this is Kelly on the carry, and he is spun down. That's a hard man to spin down. But up to the 44, 3rd down and about 4 coming.
Gain of 6 on the play by Kelly.
I can't understand why I missed Kelly for Johnson. They're different body shapes.
A little bit, yeah.
Interesting. Out of the eye again goes Thomas. Handed off to, I think this is Kelly again, the first man. No, it's not Kelly. It was the first guy through, and he stopped for a short gain, brings up 4th down. And who was the ball carrier, Jerry? He's a big guy. I can't see who he is. Who was he?
The last?
Must be Daughtry. Number 8? Is that right?
Yeah, it's probably number 8.
More than likely, it was the fullback on that play. The first guy to get the handoff.
Gain of
well, 2 or 1 or 2. Well, it brings up 4th and 1. The Eagles are going to go for it. Out of the eye again. 2 receivers near side, handed off. This is Kelly. Nobody's going to stop big Kelly. He'll just rumble his way to the 44 of Mount Vernon. Needed 1. What did he get? 9? No, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 9. Wow. It's nice to have that guy in your pocket, in your backfield. Let's see, we need 1. Here, Kelly. Get 9. So 1st and 10 for Graham-Kapowsin at the Mount Vernon 44. 3:50 and counting in the 3rd quarter. 42-6 is the score. Eagles looking to get that clock running with another score. They have scored on every one of their possessions tonight. I formation again. This is a pitch. This one's going to Hansen. Hansen tripped up and ended up getting maybe 1 or 2. I don't know who got a hold of his ankle, but he tripped him up.
Gain of 2 on the play.
I think it might have been Martinez grabbing an ankle. And that'll bring up 2nd and 8 at the 42. So a 2-yard pickup, Jerry. And we're approaching 3:05 to go, third quarter. Again with the I formation and 2 receivers. Handoff, I believe this one's going to be Hansen. Hansen pulled down inside the 40 to the 37. So
Gain of about 4 on the play.
Be 3rd down. They're calling it 3 at the 37. 37 and a half.
No, it's at the 43.
No, it's a 37.
Yes, you're right.
The board says 43.
Yeah, it's 37.
37.
You're right.
They had me guessing. They're questioning myself again. Jerry. I mean, you did
No,
it.
I was wrong.
Yeah, well, that's one for each of us. Inside handoff. This is Kelly. Big Kelly gets just shy of the 35. I don't think he got it. I think it's going to be 4th down, 4th and short. Yeah, it's going to be at the 36 is where they'll spot it, so it's 4th and 2.
Yeah, he picked up 2 yards on that one.
Feed Kelly, that's what I'm going to say. Bring the big man back out here and give him the ball. Need to, he'll probably get 15. That's what I'm thinking. Is he even in the lineup? He's going to be at the first guy in the I, and it looks like Hansen or Johnson, I can't see who's at the end of the I. Handoff goes to Hansen. Hansen stood up and stopped by the Bulldogs.
Let's see where they marked it.
Oscar Acosta stopped him, and they did stop him short, and that's the first time that the Eagles have been stopped in this ball game.
Defensive stand by the Mount Vernon Bulldogs.
Acosta with a good stick there, and the Mount Vernon Bulldogs take over on the 36. 1st and 10 with 1:37 to go in the third quarter, trailing 42-6. See if that gives the Bulldogs a little more fire. Lewis goes wide to the far side. Garcia to the near side. Out of the gun. Benita goes in motion from the wing. A little fake to him, and he'll hand it off. This is Wiener going sideways. And it'll go out of bounds at the 30. I think he might have lost one, Jerry. 34, 33. 33, so he lost 3.
Yep.
Good penetration by Graham-Kapowsin, busting in there. Clock is running, 1:15 to go, third quarter, 42-6. Graham-Kapowsin with the lead, Mount Vernon with the ball. Out of the gun is Jensen. Everybody goes out, throw complete. That is Lewis being spun out of bounds near the 40. And we spot him out at the 39. Brings up 3rd down, and what is it going to be, 7? 6 or 7?
6-yard gain.
6-yard gain, so it's 7 yards to go for the first down. Yeah, I'm just looking in that tent, Jerry. You got a couple of players down there watching as well. Out of the gun with a 3rd and 7. Jensen back to pass, throws over the middle, sliding catch by Lewis, and that should be a first down. Gets the chains moving to the 47.
Gain of 8 on the play. He's completed both passes this half.
50 seconds to go in the third quarter. Mount Vernon on the move here. Taking their time. Let's see, there's about a 20-second difference between game and play clock, if that matters to anybody. Out of the gun goes Jensen. He's got 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Back to pass he goes. Gonna throw, and knocked away. Good defense by number 6 for Graham-Kapowsin. That is Evan Cross defending, intended for Panetta. Just a little too high for him to handle, and it was knocked away either way. So it'll be 2nd and 10 with 25 seconds remaining in the third. Ball's at the 47 of Mount Vernon. Bulldogs trying to get something going. Trailing here. Play clock down to 20. Same formation with the two receivers to the left and one to the right, and a one-wing set. Jensen, quick toss completed to Lewis across the 50 to the Graham-Kapowsin 49.
Gain of about 4 on the play.
So 3rd down and 6 coming for the Bulldogs with 10 seconds to go in the quarter. They won't have to run another play, but they could. With 5-3 now.
No,
they're not going to get it off. They didn't get it off, so we'll head to the 4th quarter. Graham-Kapowsin on top, 42-6. Mount Vernon in Eagle territory when we come back. This is playoff football on KBRC. Back in 1 minute. That's what I expected, Jerry. Yeah, we knew that. $30 seconds. We may not be able to get this timeout done. They're really quick on these timeouts, Jerry. But we've got 20 seconds here. $15. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And starting the 4th quarter is a pass from Jensen over to Pineda, and he ended up losing a yard on the 3rd and 6 at the 49 of Graham-Kapowsin, and it makes it 4th and 7 from midfield for the Bulldogs. And we've got 4 seconds into the 4th quarter, Jerry.
So I would say they're probably going to, well,
it looks like they're going for it.
Yeah, they're going to go
right
for
at midfield. See if he can pick up the 1st down on a 4th and 7. Back to pass goes Jensen. He'll throw over the middle, and it's deflected and goes incomplete. Tino Hansen had his hands on it and deflected it, and that'll go over on downs. Graham-Kapowsin takes over at midfield with a 42-6 lead and 11:33 to go in the game. I said in the break, Jerry, I mean, I kind of expected this to go this way, but I thought there would be more energy from Mount Vernon tonight, and
no hurry up.
No urgency.
No urgency.
Little bit more on that possession, but I think they need more energy, and they just haven't had it tonight. So the winner of this ball game will qualify for the quarterfinals of the state playoffs, and that will be the whole seeding thing will be decided on Sunday. And Thomas is on the rollout after the play action. Ooh, good defense by Garcia, knocking that pass away, intended for number 16. That's Hedson Manessy. I'm sorry. Yeah, Manessy.
You know, I've
Incomplete.
circled Garcia's name several times on defense.
He's been everywhere playing that free safety spot.
Yeah.
He's just going everywhere. He's just following the ball, I think. So 2nd and 10 from midfield for Graham-Kapowsin. So the Bulldogs managed to stop the Eagles their last possession. Let's see if they can do it again. Out of the eye goes Thomas. He'll hand it off. This is Johnson. Johnson gets into the secondary. There's nobody there. He's going to score 50-yard TD straight up the middle for Shabro Johnson. Nobody touched him, Jerry. He found that hole, and he was off to the races, and there was nobody in the secondary to stop him as well. That's too bad. Just when I say that the Bulldogs stopped in the last possession, boom, there's 6 more points, and it's 48-6, 11:19 to go in the ball game. And here's the extra point attempt. Waiting for the snap. Spot's down. Kick is up. And he got it. Make it.
Now, do we go into a running clock?
We should, I would imagine. 49-6, 11:19 to go in the ball game. We'll be back in 30.
Okay.
KBRC. Yep. Hopefully this will be over quickly. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. $11:19 to go in the ball game. Go ahead, Jerry.
That's the second touchdown run for Johnson, number 7. First one was for a yard, and this one was for 50 yards.
Score is 49-6. Graham-Kapowsin on top, and they have led from the get-go. One play from scrimmage, and they were up 7-0, and they have looked back since.
And we'll see about the running clock. I don't know. Playoffs?
I think it all applies, Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
Running clock, 40-point mercy rule. Clock only stops on timeouts and scores. That's what we've encountered, unless you're in Yelm, and then it runs all the time. A little squib kick that is picked up at the 42, and Beener will drop right there, and that's where the Bulldogs will
Clock's
go.
not even running.
No, they're trying to get it to run, I thought. And the second went off, but maybe you're right, Jerry. I would imagine that it goes. Yep, they're trying to get it to run.
Okay,
there it goes.
Now it's going.
Yeah, that's the mercy rule. And the only reason that I mentioned the Yelm game, we were doing a game in Yelm, and they had the clock running during a timeout, which was fine because that game was way out of hand. But I was mentioning that it was a timeout and it was running. Or was it a score? It doesn't really matter. It wasn't that.
Yeah.
So 1st and 10 for Mount Vernon from the 41. Chinson on the rollout. He's going to avoid one tackler, but the second guy there knocked him down for the sack. And that was 35 for the tackle there. Nico Kola. I saw an interview with Nico online the other day. He's a pretty well-spoken young man. Nico is what? He's a senior. It was a very interesting interview. He has a lot of good things to say about his team.
Loss of 8 on the play.
Loss of 8 on the play. 2nd and 18 from the Mount Vernon 33. Out of the gun goes Jensen. 3 receivers on the far side. He'll fake the handoff, throw it in the middle. It's complete to Panetta. Panetta cuts up the middle across the 45 to the 47 before he's pulled down.
Gain of 14 on the play.
And short of the first down, and it'll bring up 3rd down. And about 5. 3rd and 4. Got to get to the 49 of Graham-Kapowsin. A little bit more urgency for the Bulldogs here as they're running out of some time here. 9:50 and counting. Out of the gun goes Jensen with 3 receivers on the far side. He'll hand it off. This is Beener to midfield. Might have got that. A little short.
A little shy.
Well, they're going to, good spot there. They're going to move the ball, the sticks. The line judge on this side initially called it short. Beener put the ball out across to the line to gain. Referee said that's good. Let's keep the sticks moving.
You bet.
That's what we like to see, actually, because we've seen some things that were pretty bad this season. Quick dump off pass. It's complete. It's Panetta breaking a tackle. Can't get the second guy to miss, and it's inside the 45 to the 43. Excuse me. Oh, thinking 3s for some reason.
Gain of 7 on the play.
2nd and.
Oh, they're going to say 6.
Yeah, 6. 2nd and 4 coming for Mount Vernon. Under 9 minutes to go in the ball game. Out of the gun goes Jensen. Back to pass, looking to his right or left. He'll throw. It's complete in coverage. And getting to the 35. Who was that? That was Garcia. He was covered like a blanket, Jerry, and he caught that ball.
Nice play by the quarterback. Good decision there, stepping into the pocket and throwing it, And
yeah, Garcia was tackled before he got the ball, and he still kept it. And he comes up with a 1st down, 1st and 10. Back to pass goes Jensen again, looking to the left, dumps it off to Panetta. Panetta breaks 1 tackle, makes a 2nd guy miss, makes a 3rd guy miss, and dives to the 27 actually. And that'll be second down coming. They barely got the stick set for that play. 8 minutes, 5 seconds and counting in the ball game.
So gain of 8 on the play.
I call it 7. Second and 3 from the 34. That's not the 34, that's the 26, excuse me. Back to pass goes Jensen again. Sets his feet, looks to the left, throws. Got a guy there. It's complete. Spinita again out of bounds inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. First down for Mount Vernon. This is what I hoped for earlier in the game. This kind of quick strike stuff. So first and 10 from now.
Gain of 21.
Yeah, now the 13.
And they're hurrying it up now, thank goodness, and that's good.
Jensen, hands off. This is Beener. Beener stutter steps inside the 10 to about the 7. Nice run. A little bit of a trying to go to the left, cut it back just enough to get an extra yard or two. Clock is running, 7 minutes to go in the game. Second down, 5 from the 8 where they'll spot it. Back to pass goes Jensen. He throws. It's intercepted. And on the return, I can't see the number. I think this is Johnson. Oh, he slipped one tackle and another guy brought him down. Who got the pick? Boy, I can't even see. He's got the ball in his hands. 30. I can't see who it is. I'm sorry, I don't know who picked it off. Jared, 37. Okay, 37 got the pick, and that's Prince Scarcito.
And that was the second interception made by Graham-Kapowsin.
Ended the threat, and that'll put the ball up at the 43 for Graham-Kapowsin. And I think we're going to have a new QB. As Thomas's night is done. No, I'm not sure. Wait a minute. Is that Thomas in there? I can't see his number. He's under center. It's number 11. Handoff this time is number 20. Getting around the right side. So the QB for Graham-Kapowsin is Kyle Sunich. And the runner was, what was the runner now? 20. Oh, there's a flag on the play, Jerry.
Gain of 7 on the play, but
20.
Let's see if it stands.
It was 20, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Zach Lee on the carry. So it'll be, it looks like a hold.
And that play will be negated.
Yeah, so that'll put the ball back at the 37 with the first down and about 15. Clock is running, 5:15 to go. Again, it's 49-6 running clock here in the 4A playoff game between
85 yards and penalties.
And Graham-Kapowsin and Mount Vernon. Eagles have the ball with a new quarterback in there, Kyle Sunich. He is a junior, 5'10", 160. Running back behind him is Zach Lee. Actually, it's going to go under center. Handed off to Lee. Lee stopped and caught for a loss. Good penetration by the Bulldogs. I think that was Martinez for the loss. It'll be second down. Back at the 35, so a couple yard loss there. Makes it second and 17. .420 and counting on the game clock. So the Bulldog defense stepping up a little bit more here, trying to get the possession back. See if they can put some more points on the board. But Graham-Kapowsin has the ball, and the play clock is off, so that's interesting. And Sunich is looking, and there's the raised hand for the 5 seconds. Is there malfunction in the play clock? I don't know. Handoff, yeah, first guy through, he's not going to get anywhere. Well, he manages to push the pile. He was stopped, Jerry, but he managed to push a fight for 3.
Yep.
And I'm going to say, I don't know, Jerry, that was a lot of power there. Third down coming for Graham-Kapowsin. And what do we have, a timeout on the field? So, Jerry, let's talk about some of the things we need to decide tonight. Let's talk about the Pacific Power Batteries power play of the game. Yeah, I think you can pick just about anything with Kelly.
Yeah, or number 7.
Well, I would go with Kelly because he's more of a power player there for Graham-Kapowsin. And did he got into the end zone, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
He did. So let's call that their Pacific Battery power play of the game right there. That
Okay. Now, when we choose the player of the game, are we choosing somebody from Mount Vernon?
I think it's just whoever
we decide.
we decide for either team.
Could we pick one of each?
I think we can pick one of each.
No,
Nobody gave me any instructions on
let's
this,
do that.
so we can do that at the end of the game. So we're about ready to resume play. It's 3rd and 18 from the 30. No, it's 3rd and 15 from the 38. And a little flip there to the end around. This is 82 to midfield. He'll hold up there, and then he's going to gang tackled. This is Isaiah Jenkins on the end around. He's a senior, 5'8", 150, getting some
And
playing
he
time.
gained about, let's see where they mark it.
It looks like they're going to
Gain of 15 on the play.
Oh, so he's got 4th and short 3 coming. As the ball's at the 49. Do we have another timeout? Looks like we do. 3.5 minutes to go. And are both teams out of timeouts, Jerry? Because there's nothing on the board. But there is a timeout on the field.
And who is that given to?
I have no idea at this point. I didn't see the indication. So I think it was Graham-Kapowsin calling the timeout because they're taking a lot of time over there on their side of the field. 3.5 minutes to go in the ball game. It is 49-6. Graham-Kapowsin on top of Mount Vernon tonight for a playoff action. And Sunich will bring out the Eagles and go under center with 3.5 minutes to work in a 4th and a long 2. Pitch goes to number 20. He got the first down and keeps on his feet to the 40. And that is Zach Lee on the carry again.
Gain of 9 on the play.
He only needed 2, got to the 40. That's first down and 10 for the Eagles. And Graham-Kapowsin is a 1st and 10 with 3 minutes to go. And a lead. And this is just, they're taking their time, Jerry, as they should, as we're 2:45.
And I've already got my picks.
You do? Okay. I would agree with those so far. And there's going to be a 5-yard penalty as a delay of game. I think that the Eagles are used to having that play clock at their disposal. And I didn't realize when they stopped the play clock display, Jerry. I didn't see that. Did you, when it stopped working?
I did not. I mean, it's been a few minutes.
Might have something to do with a connection to the clock itself and the running clock. It can't.
Where you can't.
Yeah, maybe
do
you
both.
Yeah, it might be possible there.
Yeah, 90 yards and penalties so far for Graham-Kapowsin.
So ball back at the 45. It's 1st and 15 for the Eagles. Under 2 minutes to go in the game. Out of the eye. And a low crouch. A handoff. Here's Lee again. Got a yard maybe. And Mount Vernon's going to take a timeout. There's at 1:46 to go in the ball game. So as we're talking about the Banner Bank player of the game, Jerry is making notes. And you're voting for whom, Jerry?
I'm voting for number 3, Carlos Garcia for Mount Vernon, because of his outstanding defense.
Okay.
For
Graham-Kapowsin.
Graham-Kapowsin, I'm going to say number 2, Malachi Robertson.
Okay.
And number 3, their quarterback, Nate Thomas. Now, Nate Thomas has thrown 11 for 15.
Okay. Well,
And the number of yards that he's picked up, I mean, he hasn't played that much, of course, in the second half. But first half statistics were just awesome.
2nd and 14 for the Eagles. A blitz coming for Mount Vernon. A handoff. Lee might have eked out another yard. Brings up a third down. Actually, it wasn't Lee on the carry. It was number 27 for Graham-Kapowsin, and that is Aiden Short on the carry. But it's third and, well, they're going to call it 14. I think it might be 13. Give him a yard, Jerry.
And the other reason why I've given number 3, Carlos Garcia, the award is he's been the leading receiver tonight for Mount Vernon.
Okay. I don't have any disagreements on that. I would, my vote would be for Garcia and Robertson.
Oh, number
number 2 and for Graham-Kapowsin.
Yeah.
That's my vote.
Yeah, Malachi Robertson, definitely.
Inside handoff, breaking it loose there on the third down. Number 46 gets the first down. He's inside the 25, still on his feet, pulled down at the 22. Wow.
21-yard run.
Is that 45, I said?
Yeah, I think you did.
Okay,
so let's put 45 and 30 in the backfield for Graham-Kapowsin, right?
Okay, yeah, it's Jaden Dalrymple. Interesting. That was a lot of power there from a young guy.
Remember the refrigerator?
Yes, I do. I don't know if he's quite that big, but he's pretty big. Okay. So first and 10 from the 22. We're 7 seconds, and then Graham-Kapowsin takes the knee out of the victory formation. It really wasn't a victory formation, but that is the ball game as it comes to a final 49-6. Graham-Kapowsin all over Mount Vernon tonight. Well, I think we could take a timeout, and we'll come back with Mr. Applestats in just a couple of minutes. It's a final 49-6. Graham-Kapowsin takes care of business in their house in Spanaway. We'll be right back in 2 minutes on KBRC. So we'll do 2 minutes here. Is that enough time for you, Jerry? Jerry? Yes, no? No? Okay. And make it work here. All right, so this is a 2-minute break. All right, so we're a minute 20 in. Okay, under 30 seconds. $15. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a final at Art Crate Field in Spanaway. Graham-Kapowsin Eagles knock off the Mount Vernon Bulldogs by a final score of 49-6 as Jerry works on his statistics. We've decided that the Pacific Power Battery's power play of the game is a touchdown run by Michael Kelly Jr. in the first half. And we're going with Banner Bank players of the game. And we've decided on Carlos Garcia for Mount Vernon and Malachi Robertson for Graham-Kapowsin. Both gentlemen had good games. Robertson scoring almost at will and catching just about everything that came his way. We'll find out exactly how it turned out from Mr. Apple when he's done with his stats. And for Carlos Garcia, he was just a bird dog out there defensively, making many of the tackles on Robertson. But, yeah, coming up obviously short as the Bulldogs season does come to an end with this loss to Graham-Kapowsin. And the Eagles, they're going to be a very difficult team to get by in the playoffs, which do start next week. I think it's the quarterfinals, basically. And we'll find out who they play, and the draw comes on Sunday, because there are some games that will be played tomorrow as well. Jerry's scribbling away. Still working. At least he doesn't have his shoes off this time. Let's see. We want to thank our sponsors for tonight. Burlington Automotive, Burlington King in Mount Vernon, and Cedar Woolley. I'm thinking this is supposed to be Burger King, but it comes down to Burlington King in my notes. I don't understand that. Skagit Farmer Supply Country Stores, Firehouse Subs, Banner Bank, Northwest Clean Air Agency, Hagen Northwest Fresh, Skagit Ready Mix, Burger Master, CPI Plumbing and Heating, Pacific Power Batteries, and WestcoAthletics.com. WestcoAthletics.com, I'm assuming, is part of the WPA network, which is a good little organization. Puts together all those websites for all the leagues around the state, and it's pretty impressive deal. You can find all kinds of scores, including this scores and links to pictures and even some broadcasts. You can find them on their pages as well. Jerry, do we need to take another break, or are you?
We're ready.
We're ready. Jerry is ready for some final unofficial statistics here.
Well, Graham-Kapowsin had 11 first downs, and that really doesn't tell the game because there were so many long plays, as we're going to see here in the statistics. Mount Vernon picked it up a little bit in the second half. They had 7 first downs total in the game compared to 11 for Graham-Kapowsin. Now, Mount Vernon had 146 yards in the air. Their quarterback was Skylar Jensen, and he was 12 for 21. On the ground, they had 74 yards. So if you add the 146 yards in the air, the 74 yards on the ground, they came up with a total of 220 yards on 7 first downs. I think, Mount Vernon played a little bit better, I thought, in the second half.
They did when they had more urgency. Like we've mentioned, they just didn't seem to have the energy tonight. And yeah. I'm going to chalk that up to bus ride. It's a long bus ride.
It is. It can be a very long ride.
I've done that ride.
Graham-Kapowsin had 11 first downs. They had 222 yards. No, excuse me, 239 yards on the air. They did not throw that much in the second half. They really didn't need to.
No.
They only picked up, I think, 17 yards in the air in the second half, but that was a running clock. So 239 yards in the air, and on the ground, they had 173. 90 in the first halves and 83 in the second half. So if you add the 239 yards in the air and the 173 yards on the ground, Graham-Kapowsin came up with 412 yards. So you can tell there's a big difference, almost double the yardage, 412 to 220. Penalty-wise, Graham-Kapowsin had 90 yards in penalties, and let's see, Mount Vernon only had around 40 yards in penalties, so they kept it pretty clean. Right. That was a good thing.
Yes.
There was a couple interceptions by Graham-Kapowsin that hurt Mount Vernon. But I do want to say again that I'm going to emphasize Carlos Garcia And let's look and see on Carlos. Yeah, he's a senior. Okay,
Yes.
that's unfortunate, but he sure played well both offensively and defensively.
I
He's a
agree.
leading receiver, and he stood out there, especially after the first quarter, after those first 2 touchdowns by Graham-Kapowsin. He really stood out on defense.
Okay, Jerry. Thank you
You're welcome.
for the statistics, and we want to thank everybody for tuning in. Final again, Graham-Kapowsin 49, Mount Vernon 6. Bulldogs fall to 5-5 and in their season. Graham-Kapowsin improves to 10-0 and heads to the state playoffs next week. And that'll pretty much do it from us, or for us here from Art Crate Field in Spanaway. Thanks for tuning in here on KBRC. Final again, Graham-Kapowsin 49, Mount Vernon 6. And we're out. I'm going to call. Thanks, Jerry.
You're welcome.
That was tough to get started. Stop. I said